He's never fought us. Not us united.
Oh! I can so see that. That's it. Welcome to Comics League Rewatch. I'm Jared. I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, brother?
Not much. I just I've courage in my arms, and now he's not in my arms.
You could say we formed a little guild, haven't we? A justice guild. So you may be wondering why I brought up that little pun trying to impersonate Nick. So what we're going to talk about is the Justice League arc called Legends, a.k.a. this is very clearly a reference to the JSA of old. Very clearly.
Yes. Also, they are using some characters that do appear in other media. We'll talk about that in a second.
And this is the first appearance of the Multiverse. So, again, really, a lot of stuff is getting introduced in this, but they explain it in an easy to understand way. But let's talk about this. So basically, the idea is that the Justice League is fighting a Lex Luthor robot. The Flash tries to save Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl, and they all get transported to basically Earth 2. I say basically because there's a very important reason why basically.
Yes, there's a very Twilight Zone-esque twist to this episode.
Yeah. So basically, they get transported to a world that's very 1950s, which actually what's interesting. That's a reference, I think, to because for those of you that don't know, the way the multiverse was introduced is that when Julie Schwartz essentially relaunched DC, they didn't tell you that they were changing or anything like that. It was just all of a sudden you're reading The Flash and it's Barry Allen. So what they did was they said all of those heroes that you read, and this was established in a Flash of Two Worlds, all of those stories that you read pre-Flash of pre our relaunch, they're on Earth 2. The World War II heroes, they're on Earth 2.
And then they unveiled it in the very famous story Flash of Two Worlds.
Yeah, exactly. And it has the iconic cover that's actually been turned into a statue that I want. But
yeah, and they've referenced it in multiple things. Like I know, and there's an episode of The Flash where the first time he teams up with, I think it's in season 2. You see them like kind of coming between a random brick wall that's there. It's very clearly,
By the way, I wanted to let you know there's a voice actor from Avatar in this.
Oh, really?
I'll give you a hint. Drinks are on me.
What, Avatar Blue or Avatar?
No. Avatar, the show that we rewatched before this.
Drinks are on me. You're going to have to be a little more
It's
specific.
my favorite character.
Oh, Jennifer Hale does the voice?
She is Black Siren.
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
Black Siren actually did show up in Arrow.
Yeah, exactly. So the way it works is that these guys are basically stand-ins for the JSA. Like the Green Guardsman is Alan Scott, Green Lantern. The Flash character is basically Jay Garrick. Black Siren is actually Black Canary because when she was first introduced, she was on the JSA. Now, to explain why Black Canary is on the JSA and JLA, they said the one on the Justice League is her daughter. And the daughter is the one with the scream powers. I got really into that because whenever I talk about Jennifer Hale, I get really excited.
Yes,
I was like, where have I heard that voice before? And I was like, oh, immediately, you know what popped into my head? Drinks are on me.
I can't wait till we get back to Avatar.
Yeah. And then the kid that's secretly behind this entire scenario, he's basically a reference to Snapper Carr. Yes, okay, so the reporter that they refer to as Snapper Carr in like the first arc, okay, his role in the Justice League, he's their mascot. He's basically the honorary Justice League member. He's the kid. And what's kind of funny, you know why they call him Snapper Carr? Because he walks around snapping his fingers constantly. It was the Silver Age.
Also, well, okay. I want to talk about his character, but we need to kind of get further. We'll reveal the kind of twist, then I'll say what I want to say.
And if you notice, they also play off on Alan Scott's weakness to wood when they say, "My ring has no power over aluminum." I'm like, oh yeah, I like this. But my favorite line is first off, I love how Hawk Girl is like saying, "I'm not gonna act like a '50s housewife," and then she's like, "Oh wow, you guys really stop." In other words, she has to like play along, and she's like, "I'm not getting snacks," and then Flash is like, "No, go on, go on." And she goes, "If you push me, you will be the fastest man with a limp."
She says, "I'm going to act like a housewife," and that includes the sass.
Yeah, I swear that's my favorite line in the entire episode. The fastest man with a limp. Jeez. That's all. I freaking love. This is my favorite version of Hawk Girl that's ever been in DC because of the sass. The sass is so priceless.
What you just mentioned, that kind of just touched upon something like with this episode that I think we also saw in Fury, where this series handles politics really well. Like, I really do enjoy how they're kind of critiquing certain parts of the 50s without saying, oh, the 50s are bad, blah, blah, blah. They're pointing about some of the darker corners, but they aren't completely tearing it down, aka subtlety, which I just wanted to give it respect.
Yeah, there's a little more in this series. Yes, they deal with politics because you can't not, because they're dealing with superheroes in the modern world. Inevitably, you're going to run into something like that. And they do in like JLU as well. But I feel like the way this show does it, it's in such a way where it's not beating you over the head.
But they don't shy away from it either. Like a lot of shows, they really shy away from it. This one, it tackles it in a very, I'd say, considerate manner. Probably the funniest line is the exchange, like, "Your credit to your race, son," and it's like, wait, what? His reaction.
I love Jon Stewart's reaction, which of course, okay, so let's address this. Okay, so back then, in the time period that this Earth is taking place in, that is something someone would say. Let's be clear on that.
Yes, it's commonly referred to as casual racism. And
it doesn't excuse it. I'm just saying that they're just showing you that's the way people would talk back then.
Yeah. Notice throughout the whole series, they never discriminated against him. They never talked down to him. They always treated him as an equal hero. So, like, you have to look at the rest of the context of their action to see their true intentions.
Because here's the thing. In the military, I've read, there's this thing called there's no racism in a foxhole. Because when you're in the middle of a firefight and you're depending on the dude behind next to you, even if you went into the military or racist, that's going to go away real quick.
Yeah.
So that's, again, I like this. Because, again, when you think about it, the Justice League is essentially a special operations team, and they're showing, like, that team dynamic. And I love where they're deciding who to team up with, and Barry, that's a Freudian slip. Wally flashes up to Black Siren and goes, "How about the person on our left? I guess we should go with whoever's on our left." And I was like, that's so
wild. I like how she just kind of looks at him and smiles, just like, just like, I want to punch him, but that would be good for morale, so I'm just gonna smile.
Now, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room with this episode. So Hawk Girl gets separated from the group, ends up at a grave site, and finds graves for every member of the Justice Guild. That's what this team is called. So immediately, obviously, I knew what was happening. But Nick, let me ask you this. When that scene happened, what was going through your mind?
Da, da, da.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
And yeah, like it's a very, like I said, it's a very Twilight Zone-y-esque twist.
Yeah, exactly. And so what happened was, okay, so there was a nuclear war. Again, kind of like the Cold War. So let's just assume Cold War went hot, nukes fell, and the world was destroyed. Kind of like Mad. So it turns out...
I don't want to set the world on fire.
So it turns out
you knew what I was referencing.
Yeah, it turns out the kid... So he was irradiated and mutated and gained psionic powers. And his powers, he can project like this 1950s era world onto the entire world.
So you're saying he's a victim of the fallout?
Yeah, you could say if only this was taking place in Las Vegas.
Maybe we could create a new Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. I had to. Thank you. You set me up for that so well. I appreciate that, Nick.
But you know, he should have turned into a ghoul. That's usually what happens.
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe even a rat ghoul that play KOTOR know what I'm talking about. But all right, back to the episode.
So now that basically it's kind of revealed that this kid has been projecting this reality, and now that we've kind of gotten onto that, I want to talk about like something that it reminded me of. So Jared, how familiar are you with Twilight Zone?
Cursory.
Are you aware of the episode It's a Good Life?
No.
It's a pretty famous episode. It stars a child who basically has the ability to alter reality as he sees fit. And basically everyone around him has to like placate him because they don't want to be like sent to the cornfield. By the way, exactly. By the way, that kid is played by Bill Mummy. You might know him from Lost in Space or Babylon 5.
Oh, cool. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, you need to watch more of the Twilight Zone. It's really good. Like seriously.
Yeah, I've seen Black Mirror, but it's
Black
kind
Mirror's
of the same
good. It's kind of the same thing, but you really need to watch Twilight Zone. Like,
I'll check it out. But yeah, it definitely is that, because if you notice when GL and Hawkgirl stop that ice cream man, he's like, I have to keep doing this, otherwise he'll get me. And they're like, who? And then he just goes off.
See, that is a scene that really kind of felt out of The Good Life. Like, that's kind of really where I kind of got that connection in my head, because that is definitely something someone in that episode would say. So that's where the connection really formed in my head.
And we also found this episode that Jon Stewart is a comic book nerd. And I love what he's talking about. They're comic book characters. And they're characters from my favorite comic book. And I'm like, so are you! So are you!
The meta-ness. Like
I know. I'm just
wait.
Yeah.
I have to say this. A fourth wall break. Inside a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls!
I'm gonna get that as a drop. I need that. That's awesome.
You need that. You really.
There's so much of Deadpool I can make drops out of. It's like, yeah, I could go.
Like, why do you not have that's just bad writing? Why do you not have that drop?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that as soon as possible. But as it applies here, this was one of my favorite arcs because it. By the way, GL focused episode without dealing with Green Lantern. This was more of a Jon Stewart focused episode as opposed to Green Lantern. And there's a difference because it doesn't deal with any ring BS. It just deals with Jon Stewart as a dude.
Also, I kind of want to bring this up. Is it just me, or did that monster from the beginning kind of look like Ultron?
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I was like, what the head looked exactly like Ultron.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was like an homage or reference to Ultron. Like, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I'm watching this and I'm like, where have I seen that head? It's so funny. When I'm watching this episode in the beginning, that robot, I was like, it's uncanny. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Why do I all of a sudden feel like I'm on a blacklist? Thank you. I'm glad Nick got that joke. So there you go. But
you're in good company. I hear Dr. Stephen Strange is also on that list.
Yeah, exactly. So Nick, let me ask you this: where does this first? How do you rate this arc?
I'd give it a solid 8. Like, it's a very solid. I enjoyed it. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm gonna give this an 8.5. Like, this one, I kind of put in like the above average range, just because like the meta commentary. I mean, obviously it's fun, it's whatnot, but like kind of
and
like
the way they handled the meta commentary. That's the key part there.
So basically, my ranking is just like 7 is like okay, good, like average. Okay, 8 is like good, 8.5 is above average. 9 is like excellent. 9.5 is great. 10 is GOAT. I don't give out 10s very often. Usually the highest I'll go is 9.5. You know, I'm a little conservative with that.
Yeah. Me, I give it an 8.5 again. Also, here's the thing we've got to mention. This is the first, like, tease of GL and Hawkgirl.
By the way, spoiler alert, the episode epilogue is a 10.
Yeah. But I can think of one reason beyond that it's a 10. You gotta admit that was pretty solid. You gotta admit that was a solid.
No,
one.
that was a 10 out of 10 response right there, brother. Like, seriously,
Thank you.
10 out of 10 for that one.
I thought you'd like that one, but this is like, again, where they start to tease GL and Hawkgirl, because, you know, she's there for him when he's dealing with seeing his childhood heroes and then having to say goodbye to them. It's really cool. How, here's the thing. This show subtly plays the long game with all these longer arcs. Like, I know a lot of these episodes may seem like they're like episode of the week, but really what they're doing, if you're paying close attention, they are weaving together a longer story.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get to, like, there will be an episode where they'll tease what's going to go on at the end of season 2, as a matter of fact, but that's besides the point. Yeah, they tease this so long in seemingly insignificant episodes. So pay attention to that's why I love this show so much, because literally it's like a Zack Snyder movie. You have to pay attention to everything. And by the way,
are you saying Wonder Woman is a Kryptonian in the DCAU?
That'd be cool. But by the way, it is high praise for me to call something like a Zack Snyder movie. So let's be clear on that.
I mean, anyone who knows either of us knows that to be true.
Even though, and this is my channel, so I can say this, Zack Snyder has been pretty vocal about his not support for Wonder Bat, which when that BVS recording of the watch party is out, because they're taking care of it right now, I am going to clip the next week's video is just going to be Zack Snyder's thoughts on Wonder Bat. My intro, that clip, ending, done.
I mean, this is your kingdom, so of course, if you declare Wonder Bat not canon, then that is so.
Oh, and it's going to be a drop for this show too. I just want to let you know that
you need to open up one of your shows where, like, and this is the show where Wonder Bat is not canon.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, by the way, you know what's going to be a drop? That Jeff Johns like hit on the BVS panel.
Oh, you know what you need
to do? Drop the mic and just walk away.
No. You need to make you or I need to make an edit to that where it's like, you know, those where they have like the glasses come in and you hear like the GTA music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's so much that's why I love those panels. There's so much we could do with this. There's content for weeks on that. So now, where does this arc rank in comparison to the other arcs that we've covered?
It's definitely like above average. I don't really have a numerical ranking system. I'm just
you don't have to.
Like, it's definitely on the better end of the spectrum, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, me too. It's not like massively up there with like all my favorite arcs, but it's one of those ones where I could watch this over and over again and be happy. That's the way I rank these. If I can watch these over and over again and not get tired, I'll do that. Like the Fury arc, the one that we talked about, that was a fantastic depiction of gender. Yes, I could do that. The intro.
Well, I thought your Desert Island DVD was a copy of the Snyder Cut.
I'm allowed to have more than one DVD.
On a desert island.
In which case, what I would do, since I can only have one package, it's just going to be the trilogy. And obviously a DVD player or something to play, but it's going to be the trilogy. I have to say trilogy. Let me put it this way: the first 3 movies.
Okay.
I have to make that addendum.
Yeah. We'll talk more after the thing. So.
Yeah. So that's the way we're gonna leave this. What did you guys think of the Legends arc? Is this your favorite? Who is your favorite character? Who is your favorite guildsman? And how does this rank? Do you guys think with the rest of the Justice League arcs that we've covered so far. And remember, next week, I'm just pulling up what the next week arc is so you guys can get all prepared. And so I can basically tease Nick as to which arc is next. Let me just pull up my HBO Max real quick.
How far are we from the finale?
Yeah, let me check. I believe we're 3 weeks away.
Okay, so next weekend
check.
next weekend we'll probably be sharing details on the live stream because that's the last episode. Because if it's 3 weeks,
we're 3 weeks away. We're 3 weeks away.
So next week is our last regular episode, and the week after that we're doing live stream. Okay, so next week we'll be sharing details on the live stream, so that way you have everything else set.
So next week we're doing A Night of Shadows, which is dealing with Etrigan, the demon, which is more of like the magic side of the DCAU.
Fair enough. Also, I just want to say, by the way, the plans for after we finish this are we are going to return to Avatar and Season 2. So what's going to happen is on Monday, you'll have Avatar Season 2 on my channel. Then on Tuesday, you'll have Justice League Season 2 on this channel.
In other words, if you're watching Comics League, nothing changes. It's just you have another show to complement this one on Nick's channel.
Yeah, it's just the reason we did it this way is because we did all of Season 1 on my channel. So I just wanted to be fair and then do all of Season 1 on his channel just so that it's like fair. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
And then from here on out, we'll do it evenly. I just thought it was fair, you know.
Yeah, and then obviously we'll cross promote our shows on like our community posts and Twitter, no matter what. So it's not going to be you won't have to like dig to find each episode if you're interested in Avatar or on next time if you're interested in Justice League. It's not going to. We'll make it as easy as possible. But on that note, stay heroic, and I will see you in the next one.